I've been thinking a lot about war and peace. And I dug into my ancient texts and I found a series of quotes which I think are just beautiful. And I want to recite a few of them for you because I think that they really speak to a lot of what I believe. Because I believe that all texts have universal truths in them. So let me just read a few. Do not let your hatred of people incite you to aggression. Paradise is for those who curb their anger and forgive their fellow men. Do not kill a soul which God has made sacred except through due process of law. Do you know what is better than charity and fasting and prayer? It is keeping peace and good relations between people, as quarrels and bad feelings destroy mankind. I think these are all pretty beautiful, loving, caring statements. And I think that when you think about what they're saying is that the idea of keeping peace and keeping love between mankind is probably the most important thing. Joshua said, I leave you this one commandment, love one another. And the thing that I find most disturbing to me in today's world are how broad generalizations of a specific religion can be so harmful. When you look at the history of Christianity and other religions, Christianity has been the most harmful religion on the planet Earth. And, it has, going back to what the Romans did, going into what the Crusaders did, and what the conquistadors did, and, all those religions and all that Christianity that was spread around the world saying you have to believe what we say you have to believe was the most harmful and destructive religion on earth. It literally has caused more death than any other religion. And when I read these quotes, I'm reminded of how beautiful the words of the Prophet Muhammad are, because these are from him, and these are from the Quran and the Hadith. These are the writings of Muhammad. He believed in peace being more important than prayer even. What is better than charity and fasting and prayer? It is keeping peace and good relations between people, as quarrels and bad feelings destroy mankind. These are loving, caring, gentle expressions. But the Muslims have been vilified for centuries because of the fact that they weren't Christian. That's why they were vilified. And when you look at the word Islam, Islam means peace and submission, and specifically submission to peace. So it really comes down to peace. And to be Muslim means you are one who has submitted to peace. You are one who follows peace. And so when you see the people who commit atrocities and claim to be, for Muslim, they're not technically Muslim because they're not living the words of Muhammad. They're not living in it with peace and good relations between people. They're not living that. But they have been pushed to the point where over time, there's been become a hatred for Christians. Why? Because Christians persecuted them. The root origin of Islam is fascinating because they believe in Yeshua. They call him Isa in the Quran. They believe he is the prophet that came before Muhammad. Because they believe there was Moses and then Jesus and then Muhammad, and then if you go out of Islam and you go over to the Baha'i faith, the Baha'i faith believes that after Muhammad came Baha'u'llah, and so they're all tied into the same root, right? They're all claiming to be the same origin, and yet they fight amongst each other and they argue against each other. And what is the argument? The argument really is who's right. Who's right? And none of them are right, because spirituality is bigger than one religion can encompass. Spirituality is bigger and yet simpler than one religion can encompass. Each one of those religions has wrapped their own little construct around something so beautifully simple, and they've added their own laws and rules, and those laws and rules became the point of concern for war. They are, we believe this and you don't believe this. You're wrong. When you get to the Nicene Council in the 300s, that is where he went from being prophet to son of God. Is at that council when that happened, and from that point on, especially, everybody else was wrong. Everybody else was wrong. The Roman Empire had become the strongest empire in the world, and everybody else was wrong. So I guess the reason I wanted to make this video is because this morning I watched an interview with Ilhan Omar. And it's interesting in that Senator Boebert made comments about Ilhan Omar being a terrorist and wearing a backpack, and she has a backpack on. She should be afraid because a bomb will be in there, whatever. She literally is touting the hateful tropes of Christianity. And I don't, you got to remember this. When I say something against Christianity, I'm not saying anything against Jeshua. Jeshua wasn't Christian. Jeshua was, everybody talks about him being a Jewish man. He was born a Jewish man. He did not follow the Jewish traditions. It's all through the Bible, He met the Samaritan woman while traveling on the Sabbath. You're not supposed to travel on the Sabbath. You're not supposed to do anything on the Sabbath except for pray, right? And we traveled on the Sabbath. We ate on the Sabbath. We had, he honored the Passover feasts, which was still a Jewish tradition, right? And it's interesting, we when we get into the trap of having to be right is where we have the issues, right? This channel this YouTube channel for me is a place where I just speak my truth. I'm not condemning anybody for what they believe, unless their beliefs are harmful. And then I'll express to them, I don't believe that. I don't condemn them or judge them, or my whole thought process is, in my opinion, where they are, is in some sort of fear-based construct. And so when I look at people who want to come and attack me, which happens quite a lot. How dare you? That was one of the most recent ones that came in. How dare you? Think about the words, how dare you? They were insulted by my belief. I wasn't insulted by their belief. I said something, and they said, how dare you? And that is wanting to be right. And wanting to be right can lead to war and anger and death and destruction. And when you look at what the Prophet Muhammad says here, do not let your hatred of people incite you to aggression. Paradise is for those who curb their anger and forgive the fellow man. Do not kill a soul which God has made sacred except through due process of law. Do you know what is better than charity and fasting and prayer? It is keeping peace and good relations between people, as quarrels and bad feelings destroy mankind. Beautiful, beautiful statements. I've been very fortunate in the fact that I have traveled all through the Muslim countries and met many Muslim people and have been treated like a prince and shown love. And my wife, who was with me on one of those trips, was treated completely respectfully as well. And you know, these stories you hear that all Muslims are you know, evil and blah blah blah. It's just not true. You know, there are butt heads in every segment of society, in every religion. There are butt heads. It's not about the person or the religion. It's about what is the truth. What is the universal truth? And the universal truth that I follow is God is love, and I am here to express God in the world and to bring peace and love and harmony between people. And when you come at my beliefs from hatred and disharmony, I feel sorry for you. I feel bad, and I will show you what I believe and not condemn you for your beliefs. But after the second or third time of you condemning me, I just say, okay. Yeah, there's the quote that says, "Let those who have eyes to see, see, and those who have ears to hear, hear." And they're obviously not seeing or hearing, and so I should waste no more time here, and I should go and talk to the people who are seeing and hearing. And so that's what I do. And if they continue to get vehement, I just block them, you know, because if I was to stay in that situation, I would be incited to aggression. And so I don't put myself into the situation of being incited to aggression. I walk away. I turn the other cheek. I'm hoping that through these conversations, Jeshua's teaching come alive, because I want you to understand that this is not, the teachings are not about 2,000 years ago. They're not about what happened at the Nicene Council. They're not even about what Muhammad and anybody else has been written about, has said. It's about the universal truth. And Muhammad, in these quotes that I've read today, is talking the universal truth. Love one another. You know, don't get incited to aggression. Turn the other cheek. You know, that's the important part of all this, is to stay away from the things that are negative and create the things that are positive, that are loving. And if we live loving, we'll love living. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you.